What is going on, guys? I just wanted to pop on real quick to make a small video. I feel like I'm at the end of an era because I've been running and testing this boat motor and perfecting it, and I believe all the mechanical stuff is done. So I just wanted to make a short video here just to kind of show you everything that I've done to get this thing at top performance. If you haven't watched the Storytime video yet, click the I link in the upper right hand corner. It's an amazing video on how we acquired this boat. At this point, I think Walmart needs to sponsor me, as I did buy most of my things from Walmart, and maybe Amazon should probably sponsor me at this point too. The first thing on the docket to fix is the coolant line that's going to suck up water and run it through the engine. A lot of people call it the P line because when you have proper flow, it will pee out right there behind your motor. The next thing we're going to do is replace this fuel filter, but first we got to take it off and examine it to see what's on the inside that's being stopped from getting into the engine. And it's not the worst I've seen, but there is some garbage in there, so we'll go ahead and throw a new one in there. Next, we are going to drain and replace the lower unit oil or lube, whichever one you want to call it. I don't know the last time it's been changed, so it's probably time to do that. There is no white or frothy oil in here, so it looks like we have no leaks in the lower unit, which is great. Let's go ahead and replace with fresh oil. Here we have a whole bunch of parts to redo the live well system and the bilge system. It's time to rip out the old and put in the new. Brand new pumps, brand new hoses, brand new everything. Look at that guy. I think you would have to agree with me that this looks a lot better. Both live wells are now working, as well as the bilge pump. God forbid we start taking on water. Then we upgraded from a 12-volt trolling motor to a more powerful 24-volt foot control trolling motor. There'll be a couple videos on here that aren't in widescreen, and that's because I didn't plan on doing a video. They were more for Instagram, etc. But examining the motor, I had a lot of leaks in my fuel line, so I just went ahead and replaced all of the fuel lines in the motor. I have purchased some surface gap spark plugs as recommended by the manufacturer, but instead I decided to go with the traditional J-gap spark plugs, as they're going to give me better performance when I'm at lower speed. Never in my life did I think I would ever be learning and researching about spark plug differences. Then it was down to finding the leaks. This one was in the exhaust manifold cover. 28 volts later, and now you're looking at the pistons in this V6 engine. And no wonder there was a leak. That gasket is pretty much non-existent. Leaks, I will find you and I will fix you. Then it was time to take off the air silencer by the carburetors and start rebuilding those. And man, were those disgustingly dirty and leaky. Took it to the garage, fired up the old YouTube, and let my YouTube University Master Mechanic skills go to work. Purchased some OEM Johnson manufacturer parts, and she was just as good as new. While I had some downtime with the rain, I went ahead and fabricated a LED navigational pole, which is required by Coast Guard, but I wanted to make mine fancy because, of course, if you know anything about me, I'm a little extra, so why not? And why spend the money on the name brand one when I could just pick up this little $20 pole from Walmart, slap some LEDs on there, and I pretty much got the same thing. Now, if that ain't some redneckery right there, I don't know what is. Though it's not mechanical, I thought it would be worth mentioning that I went ahead and built a extended casting deck here. You can tell the difference in the darker carpet. Eventually, I am going to recarpet the boat once the cooler weather gets here and the rain stop every day. And I didn't want that space to go to waste, so I went ahead and made storage compartments, and I think it came out pretty cool. Alright, once we got all the leaks taken care of, I went ahead and I was going to do a Seafoam shock treatment. If you don't know what that is, basically Seafoam is going to clean out the engine and get rid of a bunch of gunk and goop and build up stuff that is accumulated over time. As these are two-stroke engines, they are burning gas and oil at the same time. It's not like a conventional vehicle that is fuel injected by a computer. This is grade A 1987 American muscle. Everything is mechanical. I went ahead and warned my neighbor ahead of time. I said, if you see a ton of smoke coming from my backyard, everything is okay. And you know what they say, the more smoky, the more dirty. So take a look at this. And look what started flowing out there. In Espanol, we would call it the jugo de nalgas. In English, the juice of the butt cheeks. And another Amazon package came, and looky there, we replaced the light bulbs with LEDs. And of course, once again, being extra, I had to put LEDs in the storage compartments. And to be safe on those night fishing and early morning fishing adventures, I hid some LED strips into the rubber front of the boat there. So when we turn those on, they are super bright and we are compliant and safe. And once again, I'm being extra. I threw some LED lights up under the trailer, so once again, they can see me first thing in the morning or at night. And yeah, LEDs for days, bro. All right, back to the mechanics of it all. We have two 21-gallon tanks, and the port side was not reading fuel correctly, so the fuel sending unit was bad and had to be replaced. That is that little float that's down in the gas tank, so we had to get that out. Now when I toggle between both tanks, both sides read that I have gas. I had to replace my trim tilt relays as I was out on the water one day and the motor went up and didn't come down. So as you can see, they were pretty bad and needed to go. Let me go back to the gas tank real quick. I forgot that I had a hairline crack right there in the vent hose area. So we went ahead and just replaced the fill and the vent gas line. I don't really recommend this next part, but I did adjust the throttle cam. After I rebuilt the carbs, the idle was pretty low. So I did adjust that. Probably should have done a link and sync, but eventually I'll take it to the boat doctor, aka the mechanic, and have them do it, as it might be just above my level of expertise at this point. I went ahead and added a hydrofoil above the propeller there, and that's going to help get the rear end of the boat up out of the water, giving me better fuel efficiency. And we'll get to why in just a few minutes. While we were waiting on some parts from good old Amazon, the trailer got 4 brand new tires and 1 brand new hub. Ryder noticed some smoking under the console one day, and it turned out that my automatic live well timer, which turns the water on and off, and those live wells burn up. So that was replaced too. We talked about getting my heavy rear end out of the water. I have about 160 pounds of batteries back there because I want to be out on the water trolling as much as possible. And yes, I know I still need to clean up that cabling, so don't come at me, bro. I installed a fuel water separator because she is a 1987. I want to make sure that I capture any particulate and not let any water into that motor, so all she gets is straight fuel and oil. After all this was done, we took her out for a test maintenance run, and she did phenomenally. We got her back up to 55.5 miles an hour, which really isn't bad at all for all that weight. Lastly, I got a Lowrance Eagle 9 for my GPS, fish finding, speed, and water temp. So where do we go from here? I'm thinking maybe a fully enclosed tarped shed thing. That way I can avoid all of our permitting issues in our area because it's considered temporary. Then maybe, I don't know, try to restore the gel coat, maybe paint the outboard. The sky's the limit, and it's only going to get better from here. So let me know if you want to see those videos or not. And as always, like, subscribe, leave me a comment, and I can't wait to see you on the water. Bye.